Yo, what's going on, guys? It's me, That We're back with part 3 for What If Naruto Had Devil Fruits. It's been a few days, so if you guys have not seen the last part, or you're just new to the channel, and YouTube has recommended you to me, well, for one, thank you, YouTube, and welcome. And if you want to catch up on this story specifically, head up on over to the top upper right hand corner where you can find What If Naruto Had Devil Fruits, parts 1 and 2. Today is part 3, so you have a little bit of catching up to do, but not too much to where it's like I might as well wait for the full story, you know what I mean? But anyways, let's get right into where we left off. With Naruto, Hinata, and Sasuke having confronted the Sand Trio, they had gone off to Kakashi to go and see why there were shinobi from other villages here in the Leaf Village and what was going on. Oh, you guys ran into some different shinobi, huh? Kakashi would close his Makeout Tactics book, looking up as he looks out into the sky, a hawk flying overhead through the clouds. Well, let's just say a special event is coming to the Leaf Village. Sasuke would sigh. Hurry up, come on, we don't have all day. Naruto would agree, actually nodding his head alongside Sasuke. Hinata would have her hands up, looking awkward. She looks from left to right, with Kakashi sighing as he jumps down from the tree, holding a hand up and saying that in the next 2 weeks, the Chunin exams will be taking place being held in the Leaf Village. The Chunin exams? Naruto would ask. Kakashi would nod, saying, I'm sure that you've seen them before, with them having been rotated throughout every village for years now, as it being a sign of good faith between villages that are allied nations. And so, with the exams beginning in 2 weeks, this will be where Genin have the chance to upgrade their rank to Chunin, which increases your pay, lets you take on harder missions, gives you some other benefits as well, like unlimited coffee in the ninja break room. There's a break room? I was kidding, Naruto. Well, anyway, basically being a Chunin is pretty important, but I'll leave it up to the three of you if you want to take the Chunin exams. Sasuke would smirk, saying he's definitely taking them, even if these two losers don't want to. Naruto grit his teeth, raising his hand, saying, Hey, I'm also down to take the Chunin exams. Let's take them right now, even. Hinata, who would still be awkward, would say shyly, I wouldn't mind participating as well, with all three of them basically agreeing to doing it. Kakashi would smile and laugh, saying, Well, Sasuke, looks like you're lucky because if all three of you hadn't agreed on taking them, I wasn't going to let the team even attempt it. Well, since all three of you have the desire to, there's no use in me trying to stop you. And so for the next 2 weeks, the team would train and do their regular things until eventually it was time for the Chunin exams. The three of them walking to the building where they were told by Kakashi where to go, with Hinata using her Byakugan and Sasuke's Sharingan. Notice that something's up. There's some sort of weird devil fruit power being used on this building. Chakra would be flowing all around the building, a sort of hologram being made around it. Far away on a building, we would see Sai using the holographic devil fruit, the Vizo fruit, a devil fruit that he's had since he graduated and is currently a part of the root Anbu, and he had been commissioned by the Hokage, Lord Hiruzen, to have him using his devil fruit to disguise the building's floors, essentially creating a genjutsu. With Sasuke and Hinata easily seeing through this, Naruto would try to climb the set of stairs, with Hinata grabbing him from the back of his jacket and dragging him alongside her and Sasuke into the room, even though the floor numbers were supposedly wrong. This would also be caught by Neji, and alongside Neji, Rock Lee and Tenten. Neji and Tenten, after entering the room, would move on first, with Rock Lee challenging Sasuke, just like the original. Sasuke would smirk, telling this weird eyebrowed kid that he doesn't stand a chance, as Sasuke would transfer his hand to flames, blasting a wall of flames at him. Lee would throw a punch. A strange sound could be heard by us. With the flames being cut through by a karate chop, Lee would run forward at blinding speed, throwing a punch at Sasuke. Sasuke would just try and tank the attack since he is a Logia, so it's not like anything can hurt him anyway, when smack, Rock Lee's fist would collapse into Sasuke's face, causing him to break one of his teeth and blood to spurt out as Sasuke's head gets smushed into the ground. Lee would be shocked at this, having thought Sasuke would be good enough to dodge or at least expect this coming, having thrown his full power into it. Sasuke would be knocked unconscious in one hit, with Guy coming out faster than the original, kicking off Lee and stopping him from killing Sasuke, with Guy telling Lee what he had told him again, saying not to use that power in front of anyone like this. Lee would apologize, with Hinata and Naruto now terrified, picking up Sasuke and Naruto carrying him on his back as they walk into the room, Sasuke still being unconscious and Naruto trying to give him as much time as possible before the test start. Sasuke would wake up shortly before the test portion exam had begun, this causing both Hinata and Naruto to breathe a sigh of relief, not wanting Sasuke to have been taken out before the exam had even started. Hinata would have been placed next to Naruto again, with the test taking place just like the original in canon, Sasuke using his Sharingan, Tenten setting up some mirrors in the room somehow beforehand, and Naruto being immensely frustrated that he can't do anything and has no idea about any of these questions or how to answer them, Hinata offering to help him cheat. Something that I need to clarify here is that in the last part, Naruto was training with Sasuke the entire time when Kakashi was recovering back in the Land of Waves. He never went and met Haku out in the forest, which is one of the biggest, if not the catalyst, for why our Naruto in the original timeline creates his Nindo of, "I never go back on my word." That being his catchphrase in most of part 1, if not the entire series, after Haku had told Naruto about his desire to protect someone, and this sparking in Naruto that hopeful energy to break the tool mentality that Zabuza had, and also just the hopefulness that Naruto has throughout the rest of the series. Because Haku is dead after Naruto gura-gura'd his ass and never met Haku, Naruto still is uncertain about things and doesn't really have anything backing his shinobi way. Yet. So he tries to cheat. I say tries because as Naruto is sweating, deciding if he wants to or not, the exam would end, with Hinata even panicking as she tries to finish out the last question. Naruto shocked as he answers the final question, as the instructor says, saying that if the last question is left unanswered and they quit here, they'll be able to retake the Chunin exams, but if they don't, they will never take it again. Naruto would once again balls to the walls, just give in and stick around, unlike most people, with the instructor being horrified and impressed that he was ballsy enough to think that he could pass without answering a single question, which, I mean, he did, so, you know, it's kind of surprising. And so, moving on, Team 7 makes it all the way to the Forest of Death, where we have that sussy Anko scene of her licking Naruto's blood-covered cheek. And the exam will be explained with how the scrolls work and what the objectives of the teams are. Each team will be discreetly given their scroll, with Naruto's team once again having an Earth scroll, meaning they need to find the matching Heaven scroll in order to pass, as all the teams are thrown into the forest from different entrances, with the second test beginning. Sasuke, Hinata, and Naruto would make their way through the forest just like they did in the original canon, with Naruto once again having to use the restroom and getting jumped. This time, since there's really no way for them to imitate his appearance unless they have some sort of devil fruit to like Kakashi's, which is not the case, they would just hold Naruto hostage, holding him and threatening Hinata and Sasuke to give them their scroll, with Hinata and Sasuke defeating the individual team member and the rest of the team who had gone after them and attaining a second Earth scroll, which to them is pretty much useless since they need to have a corresponding Heaven scroll for it to actually be valid for the contest. Naruto would be embarrassed having Sasuke and Hinata save him, with Sasuke not going to let him live it down. As they continued walking through the forest and making their way towards the center tower, trying to find another team whose scroll they could steal, with them having 2 scrolls now. Eventually, the man himself, the children connoisseur, would appear, a strange snake appearing out of nowhere and chomping down Naruto, driving Naruto into the forest and being seemingly killed and taken away. Hinata would scream out, "Naruto!" and Sasuke would dive bomb on top of her, pushing her out of the way as a second snake would come through, attacking them, with Sasuke and Hinata frozen in fear at the pure bloodlust of the strange grass ninja that was now currently apprehending them. As Orochimaru would suddenly grow another head, reaching out as he tries to bite Sasuke's body would turn to flames, Sasuke evading the attack by phasing through, as he transforms back into his human form, grabbing Hinata and carrying her up into a tree by turning his lower half into flames. It's at this point that, well, the grass ninja would begin to shed its original skin, now appearing as Orochimaru, one of the legendary Sannin, and the eater of the legendary Hebi Hebi no Mi, model Yamata no Orochi, a mythical Zoan devil fruit. Hinata would try her best to get out of the way of the fight, as she pretty much is just in the way of Orochimaru's attacks while he's going after Sasuke. But you see, there's actually a different reason for why Orochimaru's going after him in this timeline. It's not to give him a curse mark because he doesn't have ninjutsu anymore. That's not a thing. And if you all remember, Orochimaru's original goal in the Naruto series was to find a jutsu for immortality and master all jutsus in existence. In this version of events, Orochimaru's goals are different, in that because there's no ninjutsu, instead his goal has shifted after the attack of the Nine Tails from becoming immortal through ninjutsu to becoming immortal through a certain surgery. That, of course, being a surgery that would have to be performed by a user of the Ope Ope no Mi. That, of course, being Minato's devil fruit, and a devil fruit that had gone missing. So why was he going after Sasuke? Well, aside from his search for immortality, Orochimaru is also still collecting power. But instead of being able to collect ninjutsu, he's been collecting devil fruits. Similar to how in One Piece Kaido and every one of the emperors has their own agenda, Orochimaru's agenda in this timeline is to collect all the most powerful devil fruits. And this time he's gone after one of the only Logia who's a genin, someone he can target, the eater of the Mera Mera no Mi, as well as a owner of the rare Sharingan, which can still be transplanted, so it'd be interesting if Orochimaru could get a hold of those. So really, there's only benefits for him coming here to get rid of Sasuke. So yeah, Orochimaru is here trying to kill Sasuke. Transforming into snakes, he had already summoned 2 snakes, using his power of a mythical zone to communicate and control them, with one of them having already eaten Naruto. Speaking of Naruto, out in the forest, we would hear a large and loud explosion, with the guts of a snake going everywhere, as Naruto's eyes would have turned red, harnessing the power of the Nine Tails and tapping back into the power of the Gura Gura no Mi. Back to the fight, Sasuke would have been transforming into flames, shooting flame bullets with his finger pistols, as well as transforming and creating firefly emblems to burn Orochimaru in his snake form. But for some reason, his fire would seem to have less of an effect as it hit Orochimaru, almost as if though he had some sort of armor around him. But Sasuke couldn't even get a scratch in. As Orochimaru was about to chomp down on Sasuke, suddenly Naruto would appear, catching the mouth and grabbing the top and bottom with his pure physical strength and ripping Orochimaru's mouth open, as Orochimaru would be terrified at what he sees. The eyes of Naruto be red as he turns around, making that snide remark to Sasuke, asking why he's frozen solid, scaredy cat. Sasuke would see Naruto's blood-red eyes and his slit-like pupils, being terrified at what he's seeing, as Naruto would pull back one of his fists as he kicks down on Orochimaru's teeth, shaking Orochimaru's body. Naruto would pull back his fist, as his fist would be covered in a translucent white light. Naruto would use Helmet Breaker, or Kabutowari, as he throws his punch inside of Orochimaru's head, causing this neck of Orochimaru's to burst and completely rip itself into pieces. Orochimaru then falling to the ground from the tree, having felt the shock course through his entire body. Naruto would jump off the tree as he grabs both his fists and starts clutching through the air itself cracking as he makes it to the ground, finally ripping it apart, as the entire landscape would shake, the continent itself feeling a humongous earthquake, as if the entire world was falling apart, as a huge earthquake would cause the entire forest of death to start shaking, trees collapsing, and destruction across the entire area, even making cracks in the ground and starting to affect the Leaf Village. Naruto would scream a beast-like roar as Orochimaru would be swallowed into the earth, disappearing, just luckily escaping with his life. Naruto would fall unconscious after his rampage, having used a ton of energy and chakra, as he falls to the ground with Hinata running into saying his name once again and trying to catch him as he falls. Hinata would catch him, now his head laying on her lap, as Sasuke, who would also be exhausted, would fall down from the tree. Sasuke would just turn to flames as he's about to hit the ground, flying over and crashing right before Hinata and Naruto, asking if the both of them are alright. Naruto would be once again unconscious, Hinata and Sasuke hoisting him over their shoulders, and the three of them walking together towards the center tower, trying to find somewhere where they can let Naruto rest for a bit, having used so much energy from the Nine Tails to create such a powerful attack and having temporarily, more well, I guess from their opinion, defeating Orochimaru. When they finally reached that cave that they had with Sakura in the original, Hinata had offered to be the first one to guard while they wait to let Naruto recover, with Sasuke holding up his hand saying that won't be necessary as he tells her to come back inside the cave. When she does, Sasuke would put up a wall of flames, creating a shield of fire that would protect them while they're sitting there unless someone is brave enough to walk through fire. And since it's literally Sasuke controlling the flames, he can let air in and out whenever they're running out of oxygen inside the cave. So there's no smoke or anything that's going to kill them. Even with Sasuke doing this, after about 10 to 15 minutes, suddenly a shaking in the cave would force Sasuke to deactivate the wall and himself go out to fight, as we would see 3 sound ninja shinobi showing up, with them having been sent by Orochimaru to find and hunt down Sasuke. He would have ordered them to try and capture Sasuke, and if that was not possible, just to kill him. And so Sasuke and Hinata would both put up a fight. Only one of the 3 would even be Devil Fruit users, so Sasuke would take him on while the other 2 would try and fight Hinata in a physical combat, with Hinata successfully taking down the girl, and the guy who originally would have had windpipes in his arms taking on Sasuke. The 3rd member would be fighting with Hinata and actually overpowering her when Rock Lee would arrive. Meanwhile, Sasuke would be fighting with his Flame Fruit against the Eater of the Goe Goe no Mi, a paramecia type Devil Fruit that allows you to create beams of sound that look like energy beams by shouting, otherwise known as the Scream Fruit. This guy would be blasting beams of energy at Sasuke to no avail, Sasuke easily phasing through and dodging these, and easily attacking back. Sasuke would be able to throw a huge fire fist, to which the guy could only try and defend by destroying the fist with his sound beams. Lee would show up helping defeat the last guy for Hinata, simply using a single chop and knocking him out, with Hinata thanking him for the assistance, as he would ask her if he needs to go help Sasuke. Sasuke would tell him to butt out, saying that after last time he doesn't want to act like they're all buddy-buddy, as he finishes burning off the other sound guy as he falls to the ground burnt and unconscious. Lee would smirk, saying that he had heard Sasuke was the genius of their year, but he's nothing compared to Neji, saying that even with his power, Neji would still be too far beyond him for him to defeat, telling both Hinata and Sasuke to good luck with taking care of Naruto, and that he's going to head back to his team, disappearing off into the forest. Both Sasuke and Hinata would have waited until Naruto woke up, with the 3 of them now all conscious, working together to make it to the center of the Forest of Death, running into Kabuto and working through that little area around it where people were hunting each other down, getting their last scroll, and all of them happily making it to the center. Gaara's team would have been the first one to arrive, just like in the original canon, with their team being basically in the same spot as they were in the original. It's after this point where the preliminaries would begin, with the pre-tournament weeding out some people from the event. And since Kiba isn't here because he wasn't good enough to pass the graduation exam, him, Sakura, and the rest would not be taking part in this year's Chunin exams, since they're not even getting it. And so Naruto would actually end up in the raffle, fighting another sound shinobi just like Sasuke had in the original, with Sasuke being paired up against Kankuro. This would be one of the sound shinobi who wasn't a Devil Fruit user, and not to be honest, Naruto would easily defeat him with just hand-to-hand combat, not even needing the Gura no Mi power, with him overpowering and beating the other guy with a nice left hook, and showing everyone that just a good old fist fight can be enough to get you into the final round of the Chunin exams. After this, Sasuke would have his fight, which was himself paired against Kankuro, which disappointed Gaara having wanted to fight him after seeing him earlier. And let's be honest here, Kankuro just had a really poor matchup. Kankuro, for those of you who don't remember the last part, is the eater of the Ito no Mi, the string Devil Fruit, and the former Devil Fruit of Doflamingo in One Piece. It's pretty powerful, and Kankuro knows how to use it, but it's not useful against Sasuke, because Sasuke is a pretty much direct counter for him, burning his strings easily. Even with him trying to slice through Sasuke with his strings or use his puppets, Sasuke would just burn them all away, completely defeating Kankuro and taking him out of the tournament, when he had actually a pretty good chance of defeating anyone else. Poor Kankuro. He's kind of busted in this what if. I feel bad for him, but anyway. Kankuro would not be defeating Sasuke here, with him not being able to deflect the powers of a Logia. Tamaru would still have her fight against Tenten. However, this time, Tenten would actually be doing a pretty good job in her fight, with this Tenten being an expert in swords. Being a 2-style swordswoman, she wouldn't even use a named attack, as she would be able to cut through the wind that Tamaru was blasting with her big fan, and actually cut down and defeat Tamaru, which is surprising. Apparently, you just get really good if you focus on mastering one type of weapon instead of all of them. So yeah, Tenten actually did something and defeated Tamaru in a fight, and is going on to the Chunin exams to fight Shikamaru. Anyway, it's here where the fights start to get interesting. We have Neji versus Hinata, and Gaara versus Rock Lee. Both Hinata and Neji are masters of the Hyuga style of taijutsu, which lets them completely disable people through their chakra points and use of the Byakugan. Anyway, the fight would be pretty gruesome with them taking out each other's chakra points, as they have this little pinpointing battle just like in the original, with Hinata slowly getting worn down and hurt more and more. Naruto would be watching, cheering her on, as he has a glimmer of hope in his eyes, Hinata hearing his cries and support for her, as he tells Hinata to get him. Neji and Hinata would continue fighting as she feels more damage as she starts coughing up blood. Naruto's cheers of hope would slowly start getting quieter as he starts squeezing his fist around the metal railing, actually bending and crushing the metal under it as he's seeing Neji basically abusing Hinata. Neji would talk about how unfair it was for what the Hyuga clan does with their main and side branches, and how destiny has warped his fate to be one to be always subservient to the main branch. Basically talking and whining about how unfair it is that Hinata gets to stand here as the head of the Hyuga house in the future. As Hinata's about to fall to the ground and looks like she's about to die, Naruto had had enough. Hinata would fall to the ground as the Joins are about to take action, seeing Neji's still about to attack. But before anyone can do anything, Naruto would stomp his foot into the ground as the stand from where he's standing up above at the second level all the way to the ground to Neji would rip the floor in half, creating an abyss down towards the depths of the earth and separating the entire building in half. In this way, Neji and Hinata be separated by dozens of feet over a huge gaping pit into the darkness below. Naruto would yell out, "That's enough!" calling out Neji for how unfair he is for blaming Hinata for all of his problems in life, saying it wasn't her choice to be born into the main branch either. Naruto would say that if he really has problems with the main line of the Hyuga branch, then he should try changing it instead of bitching about it. Naruto's eyes would turn back to a lighter blue as the white power that had covered his foot when he had created that huge earthquake would vanish. Kakashi would have noticed the power of the Nine Tails, and everyone else around would have noticed it too, being the power to destroy everything. As such, with the matches being switched up around this time, Gaara and Lee would have to fight in a broken and almost completely destroyed arena, which Naruto would apologize for. Neji would still be a little traumatized from almost being swallowed into the darkness, and Hinata would have been treated and cared for by medical ninja, which Naruto would have been worried about. Naruto would go with her, so he wouldn't actually be staying to watch Lee and Gaara's fight, and Sasuke would instead be the one analyzing this fight. Gaara and Lee's fight would be intense, with Lee awakening and showing off a power that people have never seen before. An original martial arts style known as the 8 Inner Gates, created by, well, everyone thinks, Might Guy. Even though us anime fans know it was actually Might Dai who created it, Guy's father. But anyway, Guy is known for being the only ninja who is a Jonin in the Leaf Village to not possess a devil fruit. Instead, Guy's pure strength, speed, and his weird ability to counter devil fruits has been noted as making him a strange phenomenon among the Leaf Village, with this being his signature technique. A technique he created that allows someone to push their body past their limits, known as the 8 Inner Gates. Gaara, while fighting Lee, would be amazed as he opens the first gate and drops his weights. Get first gate! Gate of opening! His speed and strength rising as he starts pummeling Gaara faster than his sand or before he can even touch Lee to try and dry him out using his dehydration ability of the Suna Suna no Mi, the sand fruit. Lee would then push forward to get through Gaara's defense of using sand as a shield, using the second gate, the Gate of Rest, and eventually the third gate, the Gate of Life, entering into the third gate to fight Gaara. throwing punches and kicks and moving faster than anyone can even see, eventually opening up to the 5th gate, through the gate of pain and up to the gate of closing. With the gate of closing, he'd be so fast and strong he'd be able to perform the reverse lotus, completely pummeling Gaara. And this time, Lee would win. But how, you guys might be thinking? Well, Lee in this fight is acting a little different than he would in the original Naruto. It's almost like Lee can see Gaara's attacks before he makes them. His reaction speed is insane, being able to dodge attacks that he can't even see in front of him from behind him, even before they start making contact. And also being able to defend from attacks that he shouldn't be able to. Being able to punch Gaara even though he can turn himself into sand to try and evade the attacks. Combining the 8 inner gates with this weird power, Lee would actually defeat Gaara, punching Gaara in the head and pushing him into the ground where he would be unconscious and knocked out. With Lee defeating Gaara, all 3 of the Sand siblings would have been out of the contest before it begins, with the brackets for the tournament being Neji versus Naruto and Lee versus Sasuke. A complete rematch. Gaara, after waking up, would be furious, enraged, and not understanding why his devil fruit wasn't able to overpower that weak, weird guy with the eyebrows. At this point, Gaara would try and attack Lee again before everyone can leave, trying to kill him by wrapping sand around him and crushing him. And while Lee could sense it, his body would be completely wrecked having used so many of the gates. This is when Might Guy would step in, sweeping the sand away and completely destroying it, stating that Lee is a splendid shinobi and the competition was over. To that, Guy would narrow his eyebrows, saying, "If you want to keep fighting, kid, then you'll have to fight me, the blue beast of the leaf. Right, Kakashi? I'll show him the power of youth." I'm just having fun at this point, but anyway, no, Guy would end the fight there, with Lee making it after recovering on to the next round. Back to Naruto. Naruto would have been at Hinata's side, holding her hand as she was unconscious while the medical shinobi were working on her, hoping that she was okay. When Hinata woke up, she would ask what happened to the fight, with Naruto explaining to her that Neji was getting way too out of hand, so they stopped the fight. Naruto would say it was amazing how she had never given up during the fight. Saying these words, something would seemingly click for Naruto. Having watched Hinata's battle, this is where Naruto's Nindo would start taking place. Having stepped in for someone else and actually seeing how much effort Hinata put in against that genius, Naruto would stand up smiling, thanking Hinata for what she had done. Hinata would be confused but happy that Naruto was praising her, as Naruto runs out of the hospital room saying that he should come watch him in the finals, as he has a smile on his face saying, "That's it. That's gonna be my Nindo, my ninja way. I'll never give up." Naruto would be laughing out loud as he exits the Chunin exams arena, now running out into the Leaf Village, as suddenly a long rubber extending hand would grab him by the neck, pulling him back behind a fence and saying, "Shh, shh, I'm doing some research here, kid." Naruto would be confused as he turns seeing a man with long white hair. If you guys want to see the next part for What If Naruto had Devil Fruits, make sure to slap the like button, comment down below what you liked about this part, and anything you want to see in the future parts. I had a really great time making this, and if you guys want more videos, I will be having part 3 for What If Asta was Chainsaw Man dropping later today as well. So please, 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 please go and check that out. Even if, Black Clover's not your favorite, you could just click on it and, listen to it. It's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be pretty good. But I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you, and goodbye.